How's it going, everyone? I'm Daniel Rodriguez. Welcome to my Supernatural Season 12, Episode 2 spoiler review. Make sure you have seen the episode. It should take me about 2 minutes to recap it, then give you the pros, cons, and final score. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'm sorry I'm over a week and a half late, guys. I've had a lot going on. I also had Comic-Con this past weekend, so that is my fault. I will get Episode 3 and Episode 4 this week sometime out of the way. Anyway, getting to Episode 2 here. Let's do it. So we begin this week's episode of Supernatural with Sam hallucinating, and he's actually having the goodies with the girl that's been keeping him captive the past few days. Now, Mary is getting caught up, of course, even in the premiere, she was getting caught up with the world, and, you know, she's even kind of still getting used to computers and all. Now, Sam is tortured. Sam's getting even more tortured, and Castiel finds Sam's place. Vince is an alcoholic, played by Rick Springfield, man, Jesse's girl. He's there, man, and Crowley asks Rowena for help. Rowena, Halloween, comes back, baby. She's back, man. And Vince is now Lucifer. Lucifer ended up getting inside Vince's body, and he saw his old girlfriend. He ended up letting her in when he let Lucifer in, so not a good idea. When you see a dead person and they're like, let me in, you probably shouldn't do it. So he was tricked. So Dean is in a trap. He sees Sam, and they're both getting tortured. The mom saves them. Crowley throws acid on Vince's face, and it kind of just replaces it back, kind of grows back Wolverine style. He replenishes his health, and Crowley ends up bailing. Rowena is left to be Lucifer's slave, which is very erotic. Mick and the British girl end up leaving. They let Sam and them go because Mick shows up and Woody's trying to help. Yeah, and that ends up happening. They end up leaving, and Sam ends up hugging his mom at the end, and they're going to get caught up as well. Now on to the pros and cons. I will say this, that opening got me. Sam's hallucination when he was sleeping with the girl, I was like, did he end up, is this thing? Is he still hallucinating, or is this a natural thing? I actually bought it for a second. I was like, my man, Jared Padalecki getting in there. But no, it was hallucination. Still got me, man. Even the torture scenes are kind of brutal to see. Not like brutal, like, oh my god, American Horror Story brutal or anything like that. You know, Negan bashing in someone's head, and not that brutal. But it still is kind of eerie to see. Because they've been tortured millions of times, man. It's kind of like, whatever. But still, it's a little eerie with all these little cuts, and it's pretty gross at times. Not like super on a throw-up gross. It's still gross. In this episode, Rick Springfield did a really good job, you know, pretending to be this guy, you know, well, playing Vince. He's playing this rock star, not too far, man. He's a little bit of an alcoholic. And all of a sudden, you know, he's troubled. His girlfriend or wife or whatever, you know, passed. And from then on, you know, and then he has to pretend he's Lucifer, so now he's acting like if Lucifer embodied, you know, inhabited his body. So even pretending, so he's playing two different characters. He played Vince, and now he's playing Lucifer inhabiting Vince. So the way that he did his just eyes and his reaction and his look, I don't know how long Rick Springfield is going to be on this show for very long. But he is really, I think he's a good add-on to the cast for how many episodes they're going to have him in. But he did a really good job with the parts that he was in. Especially with the effects in Supernatural, they're always good effects, never bad. They're never like freaking great, but they are just good. Especially, I love the CGI when the acid was thrown in his face and you could see his teeth and just the way that it looked and the detail of it. Actually, it was very well detailed. You could tell it's so fake and CGI, but just the way that it was done, and the Crowley reacts, and she, you know, Rowena's like, yeah, Crowatown. She's doing that, and he just ends up bailing right there. Which, if Lucifer ends up blowing him up, can't he just come back? I mean, if he dies, doesn't he go to hell? But he's the king of hell. So how does Crowley die? I mean, I don't, unless he's like trapped in a cell. If he gets blown up, he could just come back again. Since we're talking about Crowley, let's talk a little bit about Rowena, man. She's hitting it up with those guys, those older gentlemen that have money, you know, because she's going to live forever, so she might as well live off somebody's money, of course. It's actually not a really bad idea. It's kind of smart. But she is she hustling, she doing some stuff, man. Rowena's a little crazy. I remember back in season 11, I think, or when season 10, either way, when Rowena was around, she was annoying. Like, there are moments where, like, oh, this girl, come on, Rowena. But for this episode alone, man, it's great to see her. It's been a little bit. It's been a while since we've seen her. Last time we saw her was like the finale. She got knocked out and stuff. So seeing what she's up to and still her relations with Crowley was nice to see. And last but not least for the pros, the ending with Sam and his mom. Sam, Dean, Dean. The ending with her and them just looking at each other and hugging and knowing that it's all right, that they're gonna catch up, that they have this time, that they've all these years she's been gone, she's been dead, and now they have that time to they never really even connected, so now they're going to connect, and it's an emotional moment. Now, starting off the cons, I will say this: I have no problem with British people or anyone. Actually, British people are some of the nicest people I've ever met. When I encounter few British people, like I've only encountered few in my life, really. But anyway, I mean, they're gentle. She is, mate. Like, they're all great. I've never met one person that was mean or bad. But I'm just saying, I just want to say that out of the way, because Mick, the British Man of Letters, that guy, I don't care for him. I don't care for that storyline anymore. I know it's like British Men of Letters, but can we just have Sam, Dean, and the mom do stuff instead of the British Men? Can we not do that? Do we have to have this? Can we just do the mom and Sam and Dean? I don't need no British Men of Letters on their case. I don't need Mick, the British guy. I don't need that. We don't need that. Also, why no love for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, man? They kind of say, like, your father. And she's like, mentions the father, but when Dean mentions his father, it's like, but he went to hell for you guys. Like, and you guys are just like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, they could always bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan back. You know why? You know why? The Walking Dead Season 7 finishes filming at the end of November. Supernatural keeps on filming until, like, May. There is your time in December and January and February. They don't start filming The Walking Dead till, like, March or April for Season 8. You have that many months to have Jeffrey Dean Morgan come back to Supernatural. It's not that hard. You could always have the dad come back if you really wanted him to. But there was no love for him this day. Like, there's mention and love, but they never, like when Dean's like, yeah, Dad, like, why don't you talk about your dad more? Why don't you talk, name drop him a little bit more? Right. And the biggest problem with this episode is that Castiel and Crowley don't do much in this episode. Just like the premiere, they were unimportant. It was just about Sam, Dean, and the mom, and that's totally fine. But the stuff that Castiel did this week, I didn't care. The stuff that they did with Crowley this week, I really didn't care. Now, I cared about the Rowena stuff, but with the whole... I love Castiel, I love Crowley, but what they're doing out of these two episodes that I've seen so far, I'm not liking. Overall, I thought that this episode was a good episode. Some elements are better than the premiere, and some are not better than the premiere. I still am really excited to see where we're going this season, man. They have a lot to do, a lot of content they could still do. We have like 20 episodes left, 19 episodes left, something like that. We have a lot left, man. So we got a lot going on. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting to see. I hope Castiel and Crowley have more to do and more better story development, at least for this season. Other than that, I'm going to give Supernatural Season 12, Episode 2, a solid B. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed, make sure to smack the like button. You can comment down below, tell me what you guys thought about the episode. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Make sure to share this review with your friends. Hit that subscribe button for more. Till next time, bye-bye.